Are you familiar with Colab, Jupyter Notebook?
Yeah, yeah, I know that.
Which one you prefer? Normal Python coding.
Yeah, for Python development, I used to go with this PyCharm. I think PyCharm will
Okay, PyCharm
provide
editor.
a very good.
But that requires some paid things, right? That is paid version.
No, no, no. There is an community edition. You can use it free.
The first batch, one person joined. That person was like only that basic features are free. But for
No,
you,
no, no.
it's enough.
PyCharm
Free version is enough, right?
community edition itself is will give
Yeah,
us
yeah. That was
better.
he was telling. Community version is free, but that having limited features. But for you, it's
No,
enough,
no,
right?
no. It will be enough. It will be enough because in the enterprise development itself, people are using community edition only.
You mean to say that in the companies, your company itself, they are using
Yeah, yeah.
only the
Some of
community
the
version
clients
only?
they are using that. Yeah, yeah. Now I'm
Normally,
able to see your screen.
normally I use VS Code. You are familiar with VS Code also, right?
Yeah, yeah. Both VS Code is also fine.
Let me first run sites, common thing. But anyway, you should be familiar because you already aware of those. And let me open that thoughts. My understanding is you are just watching AI, usage of AI, but you never worked with any kind of AI implementation. But man, correct?
Yep. It's something like an something true and something false.
Can you?
Actually, I got a chance to work with some of the clients who is who wants to build their workflows.
Okay,
I u- I used to build some of the workflows for some of the customers by using N810.
okay,
N810
okay,
I
okay.
used
Okay.
to.
Normally, many people are saying that N8 and they're using, but that is very easy way to start.
Yeah,
Things
it's
are like
basically it's a
yeah, for
no
any
code kind of thing.
for getting familiarity that is okay. But personally, my suggestion is like we got to involve with a lot of coding that is more powerful. But just for starting, it's okay. But N8 also, it's paid, right? So only if they're providing
Yeah,
14 days
there
free
is
trial
an
only.
like there are
Hosted version, we are using
different
hosted.
ways hosted is there, and you can use self hosting also. We
Yeah,
can
that's it.
do that for self hosting by putting like running from a local Docker. We can run it local, and we can use the Node.js and running N8 in our local also. You can do that.
Okay, okay. So it's basically it's open source.
Yeah, it's open source.
It's, so I designed it for like starting few days. I started with very beginners. You're already much familiar with that
No, no,
deeply.
no problem. You can take your flow. You can will go with your flow. No problem.
Personally, myself, it seems you already know about me. I have around 25 years of experience in IT. First 10 years I corporates till 2008. And in 2008 I started Quality Point Technology. Started in Chennai. Then after that I focused more on like small projects like through freelance websites. Got a lot of projects. It more than projects and had a team of 4 5 members. Times we but the because of difficulty in maintaining the team members, I stopped doing that, and now I started running YouTube blog. Apart from that, we developed a lot of products like Timesheet, database. So basically, in the past 15 years, I have been trying very. You're able to
Great,
hear me,
great.
right? So first, I would like to talk basics of. Since you already know about AI, I would like to tell highlight is very key difference between AI and the traditional. Uh, like I already have, right. Basically, whenever you create Java code or something, we need some certain things, right? So, for example, if you are planning to create some application or any kind of symbol code, you need to know some rules, right? Without any rules or formula, it is we cannot create program. Is it right?
Correct, correct.
Suppose you want to convert centigrade Fahrenheit, we need formula. Or if you want to convert the yes into centimeters, we need to, or even anything like our rules. Suppose if have to write a code to find whether a person is eligible to vote, we have to write if condition. The age is greater than in eligible, not eligible. Like there should be certain rule or formula, something that should be solidly should be there. Then only as a programmer we can just implement that. We can write the help of coding. We are going to implement. So basically, we are as a programmer in traditional perspective. We don't have any other work other than just implementing. So it is just implementing rules or using rules or formulas. That is so what. So in that case, that use case is very restricted. Having rules, then only we will be able to use the traditional program. So for example, if we want to convert the centimeters into inches, we can use traditional program because we have rules. Want to convert centigrades into Fahrenheit, we can use the traditional programming because we have formula, right? But if we ask traditional programmer to convert person's college grade into his current salary, it's not as a traditional programmer we cannot do, correct? Is there any way to do that?
Yep. Basically, whenever we're building any program, means there should be one functionality we need to achieve.
Correct,
Like as you mentioned, as a traditional programmer, we initially will concentrate about the problem statement
correct,
and what is the problem, and based on the problem we'll try to write our code and resolve the problem.
correct.
If it is a business problem, big business problem, and in that case there are multiple actors will be involved, multiple use cases we need to bring it up, and based on that use cases we used to develop.
Yeah, correct. So in that perspective, I understand what you are trying to say. In that case, in my current example, we are suppose we are trying to convert the salary. Suppose a grade of the person, what big is salary? That scenario. From your answer, I understand that we can do that based on the business details, right? Suppose
Correct.
yeah, suppose we have data about his current job market details, competition details, and suppose if that kind of business information we are having, that case we can write the code, but it should be it will be very complex, like a lot of conditions, like, right? And creating that kind of code, maybe it's maybe theoretically we can say that we can do that perspective, like, but in a practical way, if you are not having any solid formula, if you are going to implement lot of it's like if else, that kind of thing. That is what previously called. Maybe you, I don't know whether you heard about that expert system. Are you aware of the rule-based expert systems?
Expert system. Yes, yes.
Yeah, previously long back also it was there. So they tried in that way, it seems. Okay. I'm not much familiar with that, but many videos, IBM videos, they used to refer that. Okay. So again, that was they are calling some kind of AI only. Whenever they are talking about history of AI, actually history, you are aware of history of AI, right? Actually, though we are talking about AI recently, and it started very long back. Okay, so that you aware of that things, right? The
Yes, yes.
mathematical algorithms were developed long back, 1950, that time itself. Back, everything was developed, but but that time we were not having computing power and uh, data, right? So basically, for effective use of AI, we should have enough computing power, and another important factor is data. Data is
Storage power.
sorry.
Storage power.
It's not about storage, it's overall data. Even if we have a huge storage power, if we are not getting enough relevant data, then it is
Data.
not that
Correct.
much. Right? That is what I wanted to highlight from that example. Like there, though we can do some kind of workarounds to manage, it is very difficult, and it needs a lot of tedious things. But in case of these AI systems, especially with the machine learning, so with the machine learning, that machine learning has the ability to automatically find the pattern, and it can create internally. But we may not be seeing that rules like something like formula or something. But it like in case of deep learning, you might have heard about weights and biases, right? So it will be stored in some kind of format. So it just for the sake of understanding this flow, we can take it as one kind of rule. So it will be able to create its own rule. That is what, it's not exactly defined version, just for the sake of version I'm telling. So in case of traditional programming, we have to define the, we have to use the rule. So for that, someone should have created it. Okay. That rule creation happened from data. Got that point, right? Say for example, one centimeter to that inch conversion, uh, someone should have done it, right? Got my point, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, for that that basis data. So should have gone through the data, like uh, relation between inch and centimeters, like what is 1 inch, like equivalent of like that. Some data maybe not, may not be from written format, maybe from the physically measuring the things. Some long back, some groups should be using one way of measurement, another group their languages may be also different. So some kind of data, by seeing the data, they came up with this rule. Normally the rule or formula is created based on the data. In case of AI, especially that machine learning, that rule can be automatically created from the data. That is the very powerful feature of AI, machine learning. Um, Machine learning, the terms AI is umbrella term basically, okay, and learning is subsection of AI, and the deep learning is again sub learning. It's a special kind of learning. It's learning itself. So better to differentiate between deep learning and other things. Maybe whenever we discuss, can we use the words like traditional machine learning and deep learning. And like data science, it's like interdisciplinary field. It involves like
Mm.
AI and other domain specific things also. Data analytics, you already very familiar. You are already working with data analytics, right? So, but data analytics is nowhere related to AI basically. Okay, but because of the usage of AI data analytic tools, now people are like relating data analytics with AI. That point clear, right?
Yes, yes. One question here is like uh, the AI Yeah, whatever you are saying currently, basically before itself it was there,
Correct.
but it was something like an algorithmic type or some new algorithms they used to build in that form only it was there. It is not something like an it is not something like an uh, new thing. It was not discovered now. It was there from olden days, but the problem at the time is we don't have a data. That much data was not available, and that much computing power was also not available.
Yeah,
Now we got those computing power and data both we got. That's the reason we got the now we got into the AI era, so that can apply multiple patterns or multiple algorithms on top of it and get very good results out of those two. That's what my understanding from the old to new era, old era to new era.
yeah, correct. The mathematical formulas were there long back. That time we were not having any models, any data, nothing. Time I'm talking about 1950s that time. Actually, in my one of my ebook Unlocking AI, I explained that part. And then I I personally witnessed in 1998 that time period. A lot of people were talking about neural networks, and even that time that reading heart rating, everything. Even personally, I witnessed when I was working in one data like patent abstraction, that kind of company. They were using machine learning, machine translation. They used to call it as machine translation. That kinds of applications were there because that algorithms developed long back, right? So internally, only few companies were using. So I was working with patent abstraction, like that patent were written in Japanese. We don't know Japanese, right? So normally they give us that machine translation. So and we need to rewrite it properly. That is what that job, that machine translation. That time I am talking about 1999. That time, long back, 25 years back. That time itself, that machine translation was very good. But the thing is that data, because they had all the data relevant to their own work. But normally that time internet was not that much widespread, right? So they put for their own work, because their main business, they put a lot of effort for collecting the data and fully optimizing that system according to their own data, not for generic. That's how it worked. So I understand, since it was working with that company, it is working fine for that company, because a lot of people were using that machine translated things. And I assume it might have happened in many places, right? In that perspective, it was there in that time period itself. But as you said, it because of less computing power, less data, it was not widespread. That is one part. Okay, so that learning algorithms and that other deep learning algorithms, everything that, but theoretically it was there long back, but step by step it's improving. Okay, in case of deep learning, back propagational algorithm was there, but these new architectures like transformer architecture, you might have heard about transformer architecture, right? That is the revolutionary. That happened very recently only. That because of that, especially the transformer architecture, and so the main factors were computing power and data. There is no question. But innovations are happening with fundamental improvements also, because of that new algorithmic this architecture changes. You should be aware of transformer, right? That is the very centralized GPT, right? In almost everything, ChatGPT, all the LLMs are using a transformer architecture that is very powerful handling. So fundamentally, it is because of uh, like the growth of parallel or iterative growth of AI and data science. Data science is also growing very fast, and data preparation and
Uh, One question, sir. What is this transform architecture? I'm not aware of this transform architecture.
Transformer architecture, transform architecture, some heard about GPT, right? Whenever you
Yes,
are using Chat
it is
GPT,
generative.
Chat GPT here, though we are calling it as Chat GPT, internally it is using GPT for work. Here, if you ask the
How come Chat GPT got that name as a GPT? Like Chat GPT means
yeah, that is the T stands for transform, generative
okay.
retrained transform.
Generative pre-trained transformer. Okay, that internally it is using a transformer architecture. That's the reason. Is it using? It got that name, or how
Yeah,
this?
it's almost all LLMs are using transformer. Whether they are using the name in Gemini, everything they are transformer. Because of that only, they become very powerful.
Powerful. Okay. What is this transformer architecture and how it is adapted internally?
One paper, research paper was very famous. Attention,
Yeah, maybe architecture diagram is
yeah, it
fine.
is there in the terrace.
Okay.
Ask you. All you need. Transformer basis for almost all modern. You are able to read that, right? Able or right?
Yes, yes, I'm able. Attention, all you need by was one.
So just for simply, just not actual thing, simply for explanation, we can say this as it made the processing parallel like that we can. You know the fundamental of AI, right? It's like the LLMs, all that kind of models. They process like it's a, just to predict in the next token. That is the fundamental. That you are aware, right? That is a
Yep,
fundamental.
I know that whenever we give an input to the GPT, what it will do internally, it will bring into different vectors and yeah, I think this diagram. Yeah, could you please? I just want to know the depth of this diagram, more depth of this diagram. Yeah, embeddings. Yeah, what do this embeddings means?
Embedding generally embedding is like you know about matrix and that things, right? Numbers.
Yeah, matrix and number matrix.
Array,
This
basically array, right? So
array,
embedding is
array.
nothing
Yeah,
but like converting the text into number. But
number.
here
Okay.
it's like attention, that mechanism. It's here. It's otherwise it is. Let me first explain the very fundamental. Then, uh,
Yes, yes.
as I said, AI, that machine learning, that ability in finding pattern is the key, right? But in case of like There are different algorithms you should be knowing about, right? So, are you familiar with sklan,
Sklan,
scikit-learn,
yes.
scikit-learn?
Scikit-learn.
Want to like, go in kind of level of details, better to traditional embeddings. For learning these kinds of fundamental algorithms and things, that this is scikit-learn is very very useful. Scikit-learn and Hugging Face. Are you familiar with Hugging Face?
No, I don't know.
They are very fundamental things. As I said, we need to know fundamentals, but in the current job market, it is expecting Gen AI like but in most of the places, we need these things. So then only we can do effective. Want to explore these kinds of models? What are models? How we kind of stuff. Here is the best place. Here they provide the sample code also. You can use any model like they categorize like text generation, text like image, text to 0.9.
These models are, I think, it is already pre-trained models, huh?
A pre-trained model. You can just immediately.
Standard LM, I think. Maybe, I think large language models are there, and another one
A
is
mixing of everything. It includes all the even full model, large language.
okay. It's a mix of everything. Okay.
So large language models, it's like if you understand the difference, let me explain one by one. Here, as I said, that machine learning is the fundamental of AI. You can identify the patterns automatically. In case of deep learning, with the help of neural networks, like the neuron concept, right? That I will give later on. I will just to give the overview. I am open. So actually, these are the progress. Especially years back, just algorithms, mathematical people started using kinds of traditional. For that things, you can go through this scikit-learn here. In okay. A recorded course, I added classification. Classification like finding whether a nail is spam or not, that kind of thing. Cat or dog, that kind of classification. Regression is um, top continuous prediction, continuous valued for that kind of regression. So for that, they like related algorithms. As I said, the algorithms were developed long back, but that algorithms are also they are improved algorithm. They are finding new architecture. Even few weeks back, I that MIT researchers in MIT they were just trying to combine the power of both models, algorithms. It's like still that kind of fundamental research is also going on, but mostly of the things now that in the surface level, trying to people are trying to effectively because of computing availability of data fundamental. But apart from that, fundamental researchers are also So if you want to be familiar with very fundamental things, traditional can use scikit-learn package, Python package. Here they provide a lot of examples. Everything play with that. In case of understanding deep this playground, TensorFlow playground is effective. That fundamental difference is in case of deep learning, we can like it's just trying to uh, simulate human brain, adding neurons. You should be knowing about synapses brain, right? So something there is like it's a connection. That thing is key part is the connection between neurons, right? The same thing here also, the connection between neurons that is like weights and biases. Weights are multiplying factors, biases addition. So just by finding weights and biases, get the expected thing. That is the purpose of that way. Uh, that's why we call it as whenever we are training any kind of, say for example, if you are training your model, that model will be like open the model, it having that weights and biases. That is what model. Whenever we are calling it planning. What is your actual question? For what purpose I started? Okay, this
Yeah, my question
transformer,
is like,
transformer.
what is this transformer architecture and how that was built? And I think all the large language models are built on the transformers on transformer architecture only. Yeah, what is this architecture and how it was built from how they bring it as an I think GPT is something like an to pre-trained transformer.
Yeah,
I
correct.
think they have given some capabilities for this transformer, but they are providing a lot of training. And and that's how it was transformed it as a large language model. I
No,
just want to understand the
no.
core of the transformer framework.
Okay, large language model LLM. It's like just a kind of. It's not having any specific thing. Here, talking about traditional machine learning and this deep learning thing, right? In case of this deep learning, actually, I added one in that recorded video for more details how it's internally working, the other things. So what is maybe in further sessions I will be talking recorded sessions. So I provided. But here today I'm just trying to give the
Okay.
overview. Here and deep learning came, right. In case of deep learning, the difference between deep learning and traditional is this deep learning will be working fine. We provide large amount of data, and actually it will work only when we provide large amount of. So otherwise, if you provide small data, in that case, that overfitting occur problems. It's more inclined towards the training data. That means it will work only for the training data. Generalization won't occur. But in that case of traditional machine learning, generalization can occur even if we provide minimum data, few data. Okay. So in that perspective, deep learning is powerful in finding the patterns from complex things, and it can handle huge amount of data. So by seeing this factor, a lot of companies started thinking that why we need to create different models for different perspective. We can already because of this digitization, a lot of data is there, computing power also there. Then they realized the advantage of these kinds of training, with training a model with the large data, help of computing power. That's how that large language models. So there is no specific things. Just training a model with more data is large. So foundational models, basically foundational models, all foundation models, these text-based things, they call this large language model. Other models like images, videos, that is the fundamental. So that kind of large language models, LLMs, on. But only after finding that transformer, this after 20, right? Here they introduced these kinds of say one word, overall thing is it uses that attention. Basically, that models will predict like they actually they don't have any kind of cognitive. Though we are calling it artificial intelligence, they don't have any kind of intelligence. That is the fundamental, right? So it is like predicting next token. That is the fundamental of any kind of AI related thing. Like tokens are like we are when we provide text or any kind of sentences, it will be split into small words, not exactly like in a like that, right? It is like maybe 4 characters like that. That is what token. That you are familiar, right? And what is token? Explain it again.
Token is something like whenever we give an any text, it will be split it into multiple tokens
Yeah,
and
correct.
small text,
Yeah,
and
correct.
from there it will go for the linear, whatever the on top of it will work
Yeah,
on that.
yeah, yeah. So basically, it will be predicting the next. That is what that generative models. Basically, all the generative models. It is like how it is generating the. Is like the fundamental of Gen AI is it is like predicting the next token. It's very simple. Like if we provide 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then dash means we can say 6, right? That is what our human, right? So it's like. Normally, based on the pattern, already we have some data that be able to predict the next token. That is the very fundamental of uh, that AI text processing. That point clear, right? First point.
Yes.
So in that case, normally it will be like um, like previous this transformer era. That will be done like only after like it will be like considering the last or current token like that. So it will be predicting the next based on that one. But now the attention of that is able to consider all the tokens parallelly. It's kind of parallel process like that. We can. It improves the performance also because it depends on all the tokens, right? That is the fundamental difference. Of just predicting like otherwise very simply just for the sake of simplicity we can say that instead of processing serious like one by one like see of serious thing it can be a parallel like so because of that parallel like one better video is there I embedded in my lot of million that gives blog post I created with the help of
No problem. We'll check. No
started
issues.
asking.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Hi, ever wished you could finish a book in a matter of minutes and remember everything intact?
The initials GPT stand for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. So that first word is straightforward enough. These are bots that generate new text. Pre-trained refers to how the model went through a process of learning from a massive amount of data, and the prefix insinuates that there's more room to fine-tune it on specific tasks with additional training. But the last word, that's the real key piece. A transformer is a specific kind of neural network, a machine learning model, and it's the core invention underlying the current boom in AI. What I want to do with this video and the following chapters is go through a visually driven explanation for what actually happens inside a transformer. We're going to follow the data that flows through it and go step by step. There are many different kinds of models that you can build using transformers. Some models take in audio and produce a transcript.
This sentence comes from a model going the other way around, producing synthetic speech just from text.
All those tools that took the world by storm in 2022, like DALL-E and Midjourney, that take in a text description and produce an image, are based on transformers. And even if I can't quite get it to understand what a pie creature is supposed to be, I'm still blown away that this kind of thing is even remotely possible. And the original transformer, introduced in 2017 by Google, was invented for the specific use case of translating text from one language into another. But the variant that you and I will focus on, which is the type that underlies tools like ChatGPT, will be a model that's trained to take in a piece of text, maybe even with some surrounding images or sound accompanying it, and produce a prediction for what comes next in the passage. That prediction takes the form of a probability distribution over many different chunks of text that might follow. At first glance, you might think that predicting the next word feels like a very different goal from generating new text. But once you have a prediction model like this, a simple thing you could try to make it generate a longer piece of text is to give it an initial snippet to work with, have it take a random sample from the distribution it just generated, append that sample to the text, and then run the whole process again to make a new prediction based on all the new text, including what it just added. I don't know about you, but it really doesn't feel like this should actually work. In this animation, for example, I'm running GPT-2 on my laptop and having it repeatedly predict and sample the next chunk of text to generate a story based on the seed text. And the story just doesn't actually really make that much sense. But if I swap it out for API calls to GPT-3 instead, which is the same basic model, just much bigger, suddenly, almost magically, we do get a sensible story, one that even seems to infer that a pie creature would live in a land of math and computation. This process here of repeated prediction and sampling is essentially what's happening when you interact with ChatGPT or any of these other large language models and you see them producing one word at a time. In fact, one feature that I would very much enjoy is the ability to see the underlying distribution for each new word that it chooses. Let's kick things off with a very high-level preview of how data flows through a transformer. We will spend much more time motivating and interpreting and expanding on the details of each step, but in
We're asking about embedding also, right?
Yeah, MLPs, embedding, attention, unembedding, MLPs.
Like
From
it's a very interesting thing. Actually, I can allocate one. Planning RAG started. It's
yeah,
really thing. It's a
basically, if it is a if you be speaking in a layman language, embedding is something which will convert the words into a numbers.
yeah, that is
Only
simple.
computer only understand the numbers,
Yeah,
and there should be some vectors or some numbers it will generate, and it will put it in the number sequence to understand the computer.
that is
It is a
very.
layman language.
No, but it's not giving the exact meaning. That is whatever you are saying, like binary conversion. Not like
Yeah, yeah,
it has
yeah.
its unique feature. Let's say, let me give one simple example.
Mm-hmm.
Here you are storing words in database, okay, and you are asking, don't think you are storing that have some certain words here. They provided some words like that. You assume that you have some words, and you are converting that numbers. But after converting that number, you don't have that words now. You have only number. Okay. But with that number, say for example, if you are asking about that number is stored in database, you are asking about like capital of Tamil Nadu, asking, or you are asking tell about Chennai. Okay, but that provided words, you haven't provided the word Chennai itself. All these words are like provided Madras only. Got the point, right?
Correct, correct.
But if ask tell about Chennai, it will be giving the details related to Madras, including the semantic meaning. Otherwise, in other words, like say for the words are alone not having much meaning, right? In case of king, yes, in case of kingdom, king refers male, right? But in case of mattress company, it refers size, correct?
Correct, correct.
Size like that. In that case, that relationship important. Numbers will be in case of if you are talking about palace, other thing. In case of some related article or somewhere, that king and queens will be getting similar numbers, that closeness. And in case of a mattress, that a bed and cot and that king, that will be getting related numbers. Palace may be far away from king. That similarity, that numbers not just numbers, that numbers represent how the words are related. While we are doing vector
Related and
search,
how? Okay.
then in the fundamental of RAG is we have to do some kind of vector search, get the context. I will talk about more RAG. But the one requirement is we have to find the relevant context information. For that we use vector search, and in case of vector search we need to store the text in that embedding format. But for doing the embedding, we need some kind of embedding service. OpenAI sentence transformer that we have to use the embedding service. That embedding service will be converting. That is the key. Because as I said, the understanding of Madras Chennai came because of that embedding service. Embedding service, we cannot do the things. It's not, there is no any specific formula or help of embedding service able to that will be with the help of available data is creating that closeness. So while doing the vector search, it will be returning the value similar to the similarity. Maybe normally mostly they use the cosine similarity. You know the cosine, right, in mathematics, sine,
Yeah,
cos. Yeah.
cosine, yes.
Cosine
Sine,
similarity or
cosine.
the distance, some something like based on the similarity, it will be returning the value. So that is the fundamental of semantic search. Semantic search is of keyword search. If search Chennai, it will only be return only the Chennai related. But in case of semantic search, it will be returning Madras related also, right? That the embeddings will be useful for that perspective, but mostly it is for speeding up the process of
Yeah,
processing.
one thing I observed when I compare to the chat GPT with perplexity, I
Okay.
think the number of embeddings which perplexity will generate is more compared with the chat GPT. What is the reason? Maybe.
Embeddings, actually, there are two things. You are talking about internally how the embeddings are using that thing, or
Yes, yes, yes. Maybe the chat GPT, whatever the embedding service is providing, or it's internally using, compared to with the perplexity, uh, the results which I am getting from the perplexity is much more elaborative and much more in deeper way it's getting. When compared to chat gpt, it's not that much flexibility I'm getting as a user, I am saying. But as part of an like implementer, how internally it was differentiate, I just want to understand this.
you are saying that Persplex service is better than ChatGPT, right?
Correct, correct.
But you are, but what about that LLM?
LLM is perplexity is also one of the LLM only.
Yeah, that means it's entirely different thing, right?
Maybe what I'm it's my assumption only. Maybe the perplexity's way of implementing this transformer architecture is they
Yeah,
have
that's what I'm telling. They are using the separate means they like lot of factors like it can have more than like hundreds of factors will be there, right? Their training data, their way of training, a lot of things are there. That case we cannot compare both things. But if you are using the same LLM and someone is using it effectively, someone is not that much effective, then maybe we can discuss what are the things they have done. Because ChatGPT is somewhat different from GPT-4, right? So ChatGPT is using GPT-4o and it's giving that service. It is in some way. Suppose if you are not satisfied with that ChatGPT service, you can start your own service with the help of GPT, the same LLM. You can provide it in a better way with implementing with a lot of other stuff with fine tuning or whatever, right? That case we can compare, but this one it's a completely very complex thing. LLM itself different means it involves a lot of things, like especially even if everything technically everything is same, their training data is better than their training data, then it can work better, right?
yes, yes.
There
And what is this embedding, attention, MLPs, and unembedding? Okay, there. These are all components of this transformer architecture.
yeah, they are trying to explain this patterns.
Okay, okay,
Maybe it's share that link.
okay, okay. I will check that.
There, thereafter close
Yeah, I will
copy
copy
that.
it. Copy.
Actually, that channel, actually, you are very much interested in fundamental things. It seems that channel, that three blue, one brown, that is more useful. They explain a lot of things in graphic animation.
Okay, okay.
Because if I run here, I'm broadcasting through channel, right? Copyright.
Correct, correct. Understand.
And you can just check this also. But I don't know much about internally how it's. But going through various articles, my fundamental understanding, like Just I simplified it. Like other previous things, they were working series. One is parallel. That is the key difference. In case of that kind of change, then it can work very quickly and the effectiveness also better, right? Because whenever then that sample, that video they mentioned, right, that word sentence, like whenever the generative model, like the fundamental is, we are thinking that then that video itself they clearly specified, right? It is like if A, B, C, then it will say D, like that only. Generative is not the somewhat completely magic. It's like ABC means it will put D. Like now we have the word ABCD, then it will be putting some another word. Like that only, it's like predicting the next token. That is the fundamental of this operation. But because of this transformer architecture, this attention mechanism, it is able to consider all the other things while predicting the token. Instead of just considering the current token, it is considering all the things. So it will become parallel, or we can consider it as parallel. So that performance is now becoming very effective. Otherwise, say for example, if you have like 25 pages and you are going to give answers, you are able to read only the last page, your answer may be not be that much correct, right? But if you remember all the previous 24 pages, that then your answer will be better, correct? That is the fundamental difference. Now, because of that parallel or considering the whole things, that factor makes that is what I learned from summarization. But that summarization may not be exactly same as the actual thing, right? So just for the understanding, they explain that way.
Okay.
Our understanding for from developers perspective, because of this architecture, now they're improving very fast, like and that factor, like because of that, now there are a lot of changes happen. And because of the AI development, data science also, because that data science, data processing, or in that process now powered by uh, AI, so that things are improved. Because that things are getting improved, now we can prepare data, training data very easily. That helps to the AI models. So it's like iterative, cycling. So because of that, it's going very fast. That is what my understanding. But whatever we are telling about AI, at the end of the day, it's not cognitive. That is still, as of now, it's not cognitive. It's just predictive. But people are trying to manage it somehow to make it better. That is what the current, not cognitive. There is no cognitive process. So we need to be very careful. That is why hallucination, all these are occurring. Hallucination is a very, very dangerous risk. That is why the RAG for handling the hallucination, RAG that maybe we can discuss one by one. Okay, if you have some questions, just send me before the session also, so that I can.
Yeah, sure, I will do that. Yeah, fundamentally, one question is like same way for natural language process. Um, I think there are different models which our Indian languages also will build, na?
Yes, yes. That multi language, now there's some multi language, that kind of. But as of now, one language means it will be better like that. But now that NLP developed with multi handling multi languages. Yeah. That blog post. The question is like handling multiple languages, correct? Or you are trying to ask something?
Yeah, my question. There are seeing only languages like in handle the our local languages like Tamil, Telugu, and other languages, Sanskrit. Is there anything it was developed already there, or still it is in the like in the development phase? It's already available. Is there any information if you have, that would be great.
I recently one like 3 weeks back, someone's like many people were forwarding one news, right? One India-based company. Yes, I will. But you are asking about technical perspective. Technical perspective, even general purpose
No,
LLMs
no,
are
not technical. I am just
okay.
asking the
Business
like
perspective. That current
is
scenario.
a business perspective. Yes, current
That
scenario. Yes.
that a lot of people shared in many WhatsApp groups, AI related groups. I don't know whether it's hype. In the initial time itself, I talked about hype, right? In AI, I'm noticing a lot of hype just for getting funding. They are using influencers to tell about them very frequent. So I will just check it whether any progress means I will share it. Otherwise, we can. But some kind of like initiative, government and private collaboration happening. When they
Okay.
shared a lot of job
Okay.
openings related to that. But technically, that multi-language, that NLP, that kind of architecture is now developed. Not completely different architecture, but that kind of initiative, like optimization, like handling. Right now, if we mix Tamil and English in the same sentence, there may be some confusion that LLMs may be finding it difficult. If we are talking about completely Tamil, it will be better. In English, it will be okay. But if we mix the things, they will be finding it difficult. But now, like already they started mixing the models, right? Even that new models of GPT, starting from GPT-4o, they can handle both images and text. Previously, case of ChatGPT, if you ask text related questions, GPT 3 something will be taking care. And if you ask any images, generating images, it will be completely redirected into DALI, right? Now these vision language models are now becoming very popular. So similarly, that vision language itself combining means combining multiple languages, it's not a big deal. This.
Okay.
But your question is
Okay.
related to
Great.
specific to India. That I found some news about that. Maybe if I am able to uh, it, I will just. So you have
Yeah,
any
sure,
plans
sure.
to create such kind of things? You have any?
Yeah, actually, I have. I want to build an app which will take care about the customer care for the local languages.
Okay, but if that level, actually there are two different things. One is if you are planning to create LLM foundation model, then it is a very huge thing.
No,
Lot
no,
of
I
budget.
already, if it is an something like already is available, so that I can build an conversational AA
Yeah,
for
that you can use anything, right? You have to, even you can use the ChatGPT itself. You can use and you can do the fine tuning with your own. That everyone is doing, right? That you can easily do that. There RAG, maybe you can like can't give more context and your intention is say for example if you want to create chart model with Tamil, that is your purpose, right? That you can use take the already pre-trained model and lot of what are you trying to do? Lot of people cases, lot of things. Tell me with there someone have created it.
oh, okay, okay.
Tell what have
Yeah,
time you can
I want to build an Tamil conversational customer care model.
Tamil lot of things are there. In the case of spaces, you can go through coding also. Files are public files. Copy that.
And one more question I have is maybe it is not related to the basic. It was a bit advanced. Uh, how this DeepSeek LLM, I think it is one of the LLM. It was recently developed. Yeah, it was built. The infrastructure which was used very less compared to ChatGPT.
Yeah,
How they have achieved this within a very small infrastructure.
that time when they announced that, many people were discussing, but some people are saying that not that different way like that, because their power is data like that. Because as I explained, if in case of deep learning, if we provide more data and accurate proper data in a proper format, then it increase
Computing power.
our
Computing power.
computing. We are talking about that internal architecture, right? So same architecture, computing power provided that, and I am also provided that, but I am creating the data in an effective way. I could get more data, relevant data, then my model will be performing. Even if you take the GPT model and do the fine tuning properly, then it can perform better.
Okay. Okay.
So that's what I wanted to explain with the example of uh, like matrix conversion, salary to that. My topmost priority is understanding about data. The role of data in data is important. Like computing power, architecture, algorithms, that and all there. But from developer perspective or any which model we got, that analysis or design that level, we need to know about the data. Someone with good knowledge about data, they can make a very very simple model with less computing power, more powerful thing compared to. So maybe DeepSeek maybe expert in training. And many people are saying that since it is from China, it's basically from China, right? Like that many,
Yes, yes, it is from China. Yes.
because they have a lot of different ways to collect data, right? Their way of collecting data is
Oh, okay. Okay.
so, but we don't know. But that's what they, because or they may be having different architecture. But anyway, they provided it as a open source. That kind of. After that, I haven't followed that. But when they announced that, these were the discussion. But my personally, I'm seeing that the data is important part in, because that algorithms, as I explained, most of the algorithms were developed long back. Because of the data only, now we are seeing computing power one role, but still the key role is so all this combination in the coming days, because of growth in happening with quantum computing, maybe we can further.
For quantum computing, also we need separate models, huh? Like virtual models. We need to bring more models, more sophisticated model, so
But
that
you are talking
uh,
about for doing quantum computing or using quantum computing. What you
for
are,
doing the quantum computing.
yeah, that is completely different. The algorithms itself, it should be quantum algorithms we got to use. Otherwise,
Okay.
like many people, if you go through IBM's their details, they mention that if you are trying to use quantum computer for traditional algorithm, the performance will be poor. That
Oh,
algorithm.
okay. Okay.
It's
Yeah,
like
I'm not that much aware of this quantum computing.
I'm
Yeah.
also not like that
Yeah.
expert, but I used to upload a lot of videos. So from there, I am telling.
Okay.
News videos
Okay.
I used to. Even here, AI also, like up to last year, I was just uploading. Like year back only, I started doing a RAG project for one company. From there only, I started creating.
Okay. Is it deployed? The RAG which you developed?
They completed that, but I don't know whether they used it.
It's
Yes.
deployed it in any Docker or how it will deployed?
No, just AWS. They put it in AWS.
AWS, the SaaS. There are different service I think for deploying the racks and all.
Yeah, but Bedrock, other things are there, but they just used like fully. They tried Lambda, and like simply function like that only they.
Oh, simple function they have put it. Okay.
But as you said, Bedrock, Amazon is providing a lot of SAG and Bedrock, lot of services are there. But at that time I was talking about 1 year back that time, right? So that time just for demo. They actually they didn't get the project. They were just facing it like for medical. One is invoice. We can talk with the invoice being did like customers what about hospital, think private ICT. But they
Okay.
haven't proceeded it further. That is why I just stopped. Started.
Okay.
Have any plans? Actually, you are trying to create some kind of chatbot involving like
Yeah,
custom data, right?
my main purpose, as I mentioned, I want to become a coach, and I just want to get an business. I want to
Okay.
earn some side hustles using AI. How I can do that?
But in that
That's
case, actually, there are is like big topic, right? It's completely people who are expert in computer vision. They may not be interested in how internally people who are interested to implement RAG. They may not be actually each and every field is having some overlapping. But normally, it's not like that. You are planning to something. My focus is I wanted to coach basic things, everything I design. You are also in the same, or you plan to focus on
yep. I have three plans. One is one I want to do the consultation first.
maybe I can stop the live now.
Yeah, yeah, better. Yeah.